This is the World News at 12 from Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I am Solomon of FM, and here are the top stories. Abducted Ondo worshippers regain freedom. Nigerian government claims no national in Iran has reached out for evacuation. Petrol may hit 1,000 naira per litre as Dangote hikes price. Alleged phone tapping, El-Rufai's family accuses ICPC of smear and challenges. And in sport, FIFA begins 100-day countdown to 2026 World Cup with no verdict on Nigeria DR Congo. Those are our top stories. Details coming up in just a moment. First on the news, the 5 worshippers abducted at the branch of the Celestial Church of Christ, CCC, in Usho Owo local government area of Ondo State have regained their freedom. The 4 worshippers were released on Monday evening at Ilado community after their families reportedly paid a ransom of 9 million naira to the kidnappers. An anonymous family source revealed that the kidnappers initially demanded 40 million naira to secure the release of each of the victims. However, the ransom was later reduced to 9 million naira after a series of negotiations between the relatives of the victims and the kidnappers. Confirming the attack on Tuesday, the Ondo State Police Command said the police launched an operation in collaboration with the Nigerian Army and local vigilantes. In a statement, the command spokesman Abayomi Jimoh said one of the abducted worshippers was rescued while one suspect was arrested. However, the remaining 5 were not as lucky as they were taken to unknown destination. The public relations officer of the Ondo State Police Command, Abayomi Jimoh, stated that efforts are ongoing to track the fleeing kidnappers. Gunmen suspected to be kidnappers had on February 25, 2026 attacked the church during an early morning prayer session and abducted 6 worshippers. Cases of kidnappings have been rampant in Ondo State since January 2026, especially in the Akure North local government area, as well as Owo local government area and Akoko axis, both in the northern parts of the state. As tension escalates in the Middle East, the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission (NIDCOM) has said no Nigerian in Iran has reached out for evacuation or emergency support. Earlier, the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs had stated that it was closely monitoring developments in the Middle East. However, NIDCOM noted that no Nigerian has requested for evacuation amid the ongoing crisis involving Iran, the United States, and its ally Israel. Speaking on the situation, NIDCOM's Director of Media and Public Relations, Abdul Rahman Balogun, said while there could be Nigerians resident in Iran, none has formally contacted the Commission for help. Balogun added that disruptions to flights in the region was expected due to the ongoing hostilities, noting that airlines would not operate under unsafe conditions. The Commission maintained that it remains on alert, but as of the time of this broadcast, no Nigerian has officially requested evacuation assistance from Iran. Earlier, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAAN, announced flight disruptions to several Middle East destinations following airspace closure triggered by the military strikes. In a statement, FAAN confirmed that the escalating tensions in the Middle East have begun to affect flight operations to and from Nigerian airports, with several international carriers cancelling or delaying services. The price of premium motor spray retail pump stations may soon rise to between 980 naira to over 1,000 naira per litre, depending on location nationwide, following a fresh increase in the gantry price of the Dangote petroleum refinery. The development comes as the president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, unveiled plans to invest in electricity generation alongside expansions into steel production and port infrastructure as part of a broader ambition to industrialize Africa and strengthen domestic energy security. The National Publicity Secretary of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Chinedu Okadike, confirmed the likely retail price. A senior officer at the refinery first confirmed the price adjustment, noting that it was driven by volatility in the international crude oil market. Checks by petroleumprice.ng also showed that the revised rate had been reflected across the downstream value chain, indicating a shift in pricing benchmarks. The increase followed a temporary suspension of petrol loading operations at the refinery effective midnight on March 2, 2026, after global crude oil prices surged above $80 per barrel, while petrol loading paused. Automotive gas, oil, diesel continued to be supplied. Several depot owners also suspended petrol sales to reassess replacement cost. The development comes amid heightened global oil market volatility linked to escalating tensions between the United States and Iran, raising fears of possible supply disruptions around the strategic. Experts warned that Nigeria could see further increases in petrol and diesel prices if crude oil surges $90 per barrel. The family of former Kaduna State Governor El-Rufai has accused the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) of mounting a malicious smear campaign in relation to a probe involving alleged surveillance equipment. In a statement issued by his son, Mohammed Bello El-Rufai, who is a member of the House of Representatives, the family rejected claims that the former governor refused to cooperate with investigators. They also dismissed suggestions that specialized phone tapping or espionage devices were found at a property linked to El-Rufai, saying only old, discarded personal mobile phones, flash drives, and laptops were taken. The family further questioned the legality of the search operation, alleging that the warrant issued and used to authorize the raid was improperly secured and lacked jurisdiction. They said their legal team has already approached the courts to contest the validity of the warrant and any material obtained under it. The Abuja resident of the former governor was searched by officials of the ICPC, according to a statement by his media aide Muyiwa Adekaye. According to the statement, ICPC officials arrived at El-Rufai's residence around 2 p.m. and immediately began searching the entire property. The ICPC also confirmed that El-Rufai was in its custody in connection with an ongoing investigation. Subsequently, the former chieftain of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) filed a $1 billion fundamental rights enforcement suit against the agency over the alleged unlawful invasion of his Abuja residence. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NET-Fund) said it has approved an extension of its student loan application portal following a significant increase in awareness and nationwide demand generated by its ongoing sensitization campaign. A statement by the Director Strategic Communications (NEL-Fund) on Monday noted that the decision followed a reminder notice issued last week informing the public that the NEL-Fund student loan application portal will close on February 27, 2026. According to the statement, the extension was specifically intended to accommodate students who require additional time to complete their applications. Prospective applicants who became aware of the scheme during the recent nationwide sensitization engagement, institutions newly commencing their 2025-2026 academic session, and institutions who have not yet submitted their verified student list. Speaking on the development, the Managing Director, Chief Executive of NEL-Fund, Akintunde Sawyer, reaffirmed the fund's commitment to inclusivity and equitable access. Nelfund reiterated that institutions that have not yet commenced the 2025-2026 academic session must submit an official request for extension accompanied by their approved academic calendar for consideration. According to the statement, Nelfund said it remained committed to transparency, accountability, and the delivery of sustainable student financing solutions that remove financial barriers to higher education in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu will on Wednesday swear in Olatunji Disu as the substantive Inspector General of Police following the unanimous endorsement of his appointment by the Nigerian Police Council on Monday. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, announced in a statement that the swearing-in ceremony will take place during the Federal Executive Council meeting scheduled for the same day. The council's meeting, held at the State House in Abuja, was presided over by President Tinubu and attended by Vice President Kashim Shettima, state governors, and the chairman of the Police Service Commission, retired DIG Ashimu Argungu, in accordance with constitutional provisions. This confirmation comes barely a week after President Tinubu appointed him as acting RGP following the resignation of Kayode Egbetokun last Tuesday. Although Egbetokun officially cited family issues in his resignation letter, the former police chief was summoned to the presidential villa and asked to step down over his resistance to the president's directive to withdraw police officers from VIP protection duties, his opposition to state policing, and alleged vindictive conduct toward colleagues. Disu, aged 59, was born on April 13, 1966 in Lagos State and joined the Nigerian Police Force on May 18, 1992 as a cadet assistant superintendent of police. You are currently listening to the World News at 12 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll go straight to our analysis segment where we have Peter Anosike, a current affairs analyst. He's also an academic doctor with PhD on Consulting and Profit Management from Brennan University in the state of Delaware, United States. He is the author of the book Abuse of Power: How Democracy Turned into Tyranny of the Few. Dr. Anosike, thank you very much for joining us on the News at 12.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we began our news today with a bit of good news where the stories that the 5 worshippers abducted at the a branch of the Celestial Church of Christ in our local government of Ondo State have regained their freedom. This is good news considering the number of kidnappings, that we've had. We would have expected that with the U.S. bombing in Sokoto on December 25 on Christmas Day and the threats of Donald Trump to annihilate insurgents and killing Christians in Nigeria and boots on the ground of U.S. soldiers, the insecurity situation in Nigeria would have reduced. If anything, they've escalated with kidnappings surging even double. So this is a bit of good news that at least some of these security agencies have managed to rescue some of these people, even though one would argue that the number of persons being less compared to number of persons being kidnapped on daily basis. But it's good news nonetheless.
Well, good news that they were able to return home, but bad news that ransom was paid. Understand me? And for Donald Trump, the terrorists in Nigeria will have their day very soon. Mind you, it was in December that Donald Trump told the Iranians that help is on the way. And now that help has come. So Donald Trump always make good his promises. So, and I'm sure on the list after Iran now, it has to be Nigeria's own turn. It's turn by turn. So the issue is this: when they say that one of the kidnappers were arrested. Understand? The kidnappers should have given the one arrested should have given them news on how to arrest the other people, because they are working together. So I don't see any reason why somebody is arrested, a member of a gang is arrested, and still ransom was paid. It means that they were unable to extract information about the other members. And again, saying that they are tracking them. Ondo State has is the largest coastal area in the country. Understand me? Ondo State takes you to is the fastest route out of this country through the water distant ways. So with 9 million naira by now, they will be stupid to still remain in this country, unless a spell was cast on them. With 9 million naira, they shouldn't be in this country. But when this information came that they were kidnapped around 1 a.m. in the night, understand? What I said was that it is wrong. By 1 a.m. you should be in your house, even though it's in the church. Understand? By 1 a.m. you should be, by 10, 11 you should be in your house, because we need to help these security agencies. Understand? The churches should be holding their services during the day. Understand? Then let them.
1 a.m. means it's a vigil. I mean, lots of churches hold vigils.
It should stop. It should stop. Understand me? It should stop. We need to help these security agencies. If everybody that's on his bed by 10 p.m., we now know that whoever is seen outside is a suspect. Understand me? But that you are still operating outside 11, 12 a.m., that's midnight, you are not helping these security agencies. We need that to help them. And the way that to help them is to make things easier for them. And that's about making sure that we avoid as much as possible going out, being outside during the midnight. That's my take. Understand me?
Okay.
That is my take. We should do everything to help them to make their job easy. So all this midnight church or whatever should stop.
Okay. Is it because of the is it supposed to be a temporary thing because of the insecurity situation? I mean, this is on those days we're talking about. We're not in the north, where while we're beginning to have skirmishes, this little situation in the north. I mean, these people wouldn't have known that going to vigil will result in them being kidnapped.
Ondo has been one of the hotbeds of insecurity in the country. Understand me? Ondo has been one of the hotbeds of insecurity in the country. There's a lot of forest in Ondo which attracts all these headers.
Okay.
Understand me? So it has been one of the. It has been Ondo should be the most interested area with regard to security that in the whole of the south west. And again, because of where it is located, from Ondo you get to
Kwara,
Bini, and so on and so forth.
Okay, now you also mentioned that after Iran, it will be next. Don't you think the U.S. must be stretched now? Because now they are mounting multiple campaigns. We don't know how long this campaign with Iran is going to last, because it is escalating to other parts of the Middle East.
No.
I mean,
no.
if the U.S. is stretched to do all these different campaigns.
No,
Who knows if there'll be time to start considering Nigeria?
It's a country of 350 million people, so they have enough human resources to do anything. Understand me? And once Donald Trump puts interest in you, he will do what he say. It can only take time.
We are a country of 350 million people. I mean, all of them are not security agents. We're talking about citizens here.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Once Donald Trump puts interest in you, he always...
we will see about that, because the U.S. is stretched at the moment.
They are not stretched.
You sure they are not stretched?
They are not
stretched. Because with Iran's retaliation, several of the U.S. bases in Middle East were attacked. As at the time I knew, I think about 4 or 5 army personnel have been killed, with six with skulls injured. Right now, the U.S. is focused on Middle East. Let's not talk about the other issues going on with Israel and Hamas that has not been resolved yet. There's still a whole lot of U.S. army in there, and that's just in the Middle East alone. We're talking about all of that campaign.
Has a well motivated military team. Understand? They have a well motivated military team that, assuming if you are entering that if you want to board this in the United States, the military and the elderly citizens are given preference. So in most of the things, they are given preferential treatment. So that motivates them to do more. Understand?
Okay.
And they'll keep on doing that. So they will come to Nigeria and they will finish. That's
okay. Well, talking about the ripple effects of the war going on between U.S. And Israel versus Iran, we expect definitely that will affect the whole world, especially when it comes to oil. And the latest story here is that the price of PMS at retail pump station may soon rise to between 980 naira to over 1,000 naira per liter, depending on the location nationwide, following a fresh increase in the guarantee price by Dangote Petroleum Industry. What do you think of this?
The issue is Brent, which is our own crude oil, that's in the international market is now about $72
dollar per barrel.
The dollar per barrel. It jumped from 60 to 72. But this is supposed to be something good for us as an oil producing country. Yes. This is supposed to be this is supposed to be good news for us, because
if we were importing oil,
we are no more dependent, understand, on refining. We are now refining in Nigeria. We are producing crude oil in Nigeria. We are refining in Nigeria. So what is happening abroad is not supposed to affect us in the country. Understand?
Okay.
It will have affected, assuming that it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago that we are just producing and not refining.
Okay.
You can see that what is happening in the Middle East affected you. But now, since we are producing our crude oil here and refining here, what is happening there is not supposed to be our business. Understand me?
Okay.
Because our oil is sailing higher now. Understand me? And we are producing and refining here. So what is happening there is not supposed to affect us, because we are now refining in the country.
So why is it affecting us then?
Because we know how to take it. And it didn't start today. Okay. We know how to take Nigerians know how to take advantage of anything. Just like If you are on the road, you want to take a commercial bus, and the conductor see a sign of the rain, they will increase price.
Yeah.
You can go to the bus stop and they will see many passengers. Fuel did not increase, spare parts did not increase, but because they have seen a lot of people that's at the bus stop, that's taking undue advantages. So for me, this is supposed to be an oil boom to us, because our crude oil is now selling higher than before. Now telling you that it is also going to impact us negatively is a corruption that I'm not comfortable with.
Okay.
Understand me? It is a corruption that I'm not comfortable with, because where these the ships are passing that's carrying crude oil and so on, that's not our business. We are producing in Nigeria and we are refining in Nigeria. So what's happening in the Middle East is not supposed to affect us. That's my argument.
Well, but it doesn't really work like that 100%. We would have gained more if we were importing, but we're not importing the crude oil.
Importing what?
If we're importing the crude.
We have our own crude that we're now selling at a higher price. Understand me?
But we're not selling the higher price to the international community. We're just refining it for our use in Nigeria.
So, which means what's happening outside is not supposed to affect us. What's happening outside is not. Since we are producing here and selling to Dangote, what's happening in the international community is not supposed to be our business. Understand me? If you produce yam in Nigeria and go to Oyimbo and sell, that people are fighting in America, how does it concern you?
Anyway, Dangote made the announcement when they were unveiling plans to invest in electricity generation, expansion into steel production and port infrastructure as a part of a broader ambition to industrialize Africa and strengthen domestic. I mean, this man is expanding.
No, I've already said it. Dangote will continue to be the richest man in Africa till 2050.
Because of all this expansion and investment in different.
He is in everywhere. He is in everywhere. Understand me? He is doing very, very good, and he has also built beyond. Even after him, her daughters will continue with this business. So he's not going out very soon. So
what part of the divide are you? Because people are split when it comes, and they think his monopoly in a different industry will continue, because I mean it will be very difficult for you to fight, for you to compete rather with the richest man in Africa. Then on the other hand, people are saying, well, especially in the gains he's made in the oil industry after years of corruption in the oil and gas industry and industries that have become money pits, have become corruption pits in Nigeria. Dangote have going into the oil industry have kind of rescued the ordinary Nigerians, in this regard. So he's become like a double-edged sword.
There's no perfect human being, there's no perfect institution, there's no perfect business. Understand? The issue is, as we speak, Dangote has employed over 120,000 Nigerians.
Okay. Do you know what different field of endeavor?
Do you know what that means? He has created jobs more than the government. So with that, we should if you have 120,000 people on his payroll, that's directly times that by 5. That gives you the million that is feeding from him directly. Understand me? So such a man should be respected. Understand? And again, in some of the businesses that he is number one today, he did not start as number one. Others have been there before him. Understand? Okay. He started as a challenger in a lot of the businesses that he is number one today. So it is a strategy, understand, and other things that has brought him to where he is today. Pride of Africa.
Okay. The family of former Kaduna State Governor El-Rufai has accused ICPC of mounting a malicious spare campaign in relation to equipment. Now, the ICPC have come to say in their raid at his house, they've discovered some espionage equipment, some spy gear. Now, the family members have come out to say that that's a lie, that all they were able to get were old, discarded personal mobile phones, flash drives, and laptops. Nothing sophisticated.
So Nasiru El-Rufai is now a spy.
Yeah, well, that's what the ICPC is saying.
Because he's no more with the ruling party. To me, this is give a dog a bad name in order to hang him. Understand? That is what I am seeing in this.
Okay.
You know what Nigerians don't even understand. If these guys come there to search you, you should first of all cite them. Before they come into your house, you should know what they are bringing into your house. Understand me? Before they come into your house, you should know what they are bringing into your house, because those people can come with this equipment. Understand me? Those guys can come with this equipment, put it there, and say, yes, this is what we found. So for me, I don't trust...
Talking about planting evidence.
Sure, they have been doing it. I don't trust EFCC. I don't trust ICPC. I don't trust DSS. Understand me? We have seen situations where policemen person drop a gun there, say that gun was found on him. Understand me? So for me, all these things are allegations until it is proven guilty. Understand? They say that that a suspect is deemed innocent until he or she is proven otherwise. So, but what I know, that's El-Rufai. Once police arrest you, you should know that the next thing is they will go there to search your house. Okay. Understand me? So if El-Rufai has such equipment in his house, there's no way he would just make that statement, understand, on a Thursday, then go to EFCC on a Monday with those things still being there. Understand?
Okay.
If they are looking for you for that, they can see an old wire that you used in wiring of your house 20 years ago, and they will give it any name. Understand me? So for me, until it is proven, understand, by a court of competent jurisdiction, I will now know.
Now, do you believe in the current opposition, role that he's played? Well, some people have called him redeemed, but some other persons have seen that there's nothing this is not redemption. This is El-Rufai just playing opposition politics. Considering history as governor of Kaduna State, was one of those that formed the All Progressive Congress, and the kind of politics, some will allege dirty politics that he's played in the past. Then all of a sudden he's trying to prove I'm redeemed, simply because he didn't really get what he wanted in the All Progressive Congress, and then he left.
Well, for me, everybody has his past, understand? And nobody was born an angel, understand me? And Paul was once the greatest persecutor of Christians. So anybody can change. El-Rufai knows what is in his mind. But for me, Nigeria is heading on a wrong direction. Understand me? Nigeria is heading on a wrong direction, and any good person should do everything that to put it back. Understand?
Okay.
Anybody can do anything to put it back. This guy can say, "I'm not." This article regretted being part of APC. Understand me?
Okay.
Article. So even if you read your Bible in Genesis chapter 6, God regretted creating man. Understand me? So El-Rufai must have seen the monster that they have reflection. I say no. Let us change this.
Okay. We have to end it here, Dr. Anosike. Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
That's Peter Anosike, current affairs analyst. He is also an academic doctor with PhD on consulting and profit management from Brunel University in the state of Delaware, United States. He is the author of the book Abuse of Power: How Democracy Turned into Tyranny of the Few. And to international news now, Iran has struck the United States Embassy in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia's capital, triggering a fire. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Defense said 2 drones hit the embassy compound in the early hours of Tuesday, causing minor material damage and a small fire. Plumes of black smokes were seen rising over Riyadh diplomatic quarter, which houses several foreign missions. A loud blast was heard and flames were visible at the site, though authorities described the fire as limited in scale. The embassy building was reportedly empty at the time of the attack and no casualties were recorded. Air defense systems were said to have intercepted 4 drones targeting the diplomatic quarter during the assault. The embassy later urged American citizens to avoid the compound. The strike followed a separate incident at the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait, which announced it would remain closed until further notice. The U.S. State Department also ordered the evacuation of non-emergency personnel and families from Kuwait, Bahrain, Iraq, Jordan as a precaution. U.S. President Donald Trump told reporters that Washington's response to the embassy attack and the killing of American service members would soon be clear. And finally, on our sports news, FIFA on Tuesday launched the final 100-day countdown to the 2026 FIFA World Cup, marking the approach of the tournament. However, the World Football Governing Body did not provide any update on the anticipated disciplinary verdict involving Nigeria and the Democratic Republic of Congo. It added that June 11, 2026 marks the opening scene to the greatest show in the world, referencing the tournament's first match between Mexico and South Africa. Despite the celebratory post, FIFA's official account did not mention the pending decision on Nigeria's complaint against DR Congo over the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. The dispute followed Nigeria's defeat to DR Congo in the African playoff final in November 2025, where the Super Eagles lost on penalties, securing DR Congo's place in the Intercontinental Playoffs. The Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) subsequently petitioned FIFA in December 2025, alleging that DR Congo fielded ineligible players. The NFF claimed that former England youth internationals Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Axel Tuanzebe featured for DR Congo in violation of Congolese laws prohibiting dual citizenship and FIFA eligibility rules. More than 2 months later, and with DR Congo preparing later this month, potentially against Jamaica or New Caledonia, FIFA has yet to issue a ruling, although it previously confirmed that the matter was under review. The delay has drawn criticism in Nigeria, where football stakeholders and fans have expressed frustration over the lack of clarity as the World Cup approaches. And just before we go here again are the top stories. Abducted Ondo worshippers regain freedom. And the Nigerian government claims no national in Iran has reached out for evacuation. Petrol may hit 1,000 naira per litre as Dangote hikes price. Alleged phone tapping, El-Rufai's family accuses ICPC of smear and challenges search warrant. On our international scene, Iran drones hit US embassy in Saudi Arabia. And in sport, FIFA begins 100-day countdown to 2026 World Cup with no verdict on Nigeria DR Congo. And that's a wrap on the world news at 12 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I am Solomon of them. Do follow our social media handles at VOP903FM. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP903FM. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.